Good morning, everybody. Happy New Year. Kyle here. Welcome to the Monday Mastermind. Today, we're going to be covering a tool that I use every single day in my real estate business called MeetEdgar. I've been using this tool for probably about, I'd say, the better part of a year now, and I absolutely love it. It has saved me a ton of time when it comes to scheduling things out on social media and being able to distribute them to all sorts of different platforms on a consistent posting schedule. So today what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to walk you through a full demo of the system, kind of the back end, what I use every single day, show you how I use it, what it does for me. And then I've actually got a great discount for you if you decide that you want to use it for yourself. So be sure to stick around and check that out here in a little bit. But I hope everybody had an amazing new year. I hope you're already fired up for 2020. It's going to be a great year. And I'm excited to be able to bring you a lot of new content this year. So that being said, I want to just jump right into MeetEdgar and show you guys exactly what this program looks like. All right, so first off, let me share my screen here. All right, and we've got MeetEdgar here. So you're probably wondering, well, what's the difference between MeetEdgar and all these other different types of social media posting tools that you see? There's all sorts of automation tools and things like that out there. But in my opinion, MeetEdgar is completely different than any of those other tools in the sense that MeetEdgar, actually, you create a content library over time that you add content to it, whether it's your own content or whether you're curating this content from other sources. Maybe it's KSAT News, or it's a news platform near you guys that's sharing real estate information, or maybe it's a source that gives stats and analytics or whatever about the market in your area, and you just want to kind of curate all that content. You can put that in your MeetEdgar library, and then MeetEdgar, you just set up some categories that MeetEdgar will then post those categories consistently each and every week, as long as you, of course, have content in there. And sometimes, as long as you, let's say, put 5, 6, 10 posts in that category, once Edgar has used all of those different posts for that category, it will then start to go back around to the oldest ones that haven't been used recently, and it'll repost those. And it might be 4, 5, 6 weeks later by the time it does that. And the reason, at first I was like, well, I don't really want it to do that. But then I started looking more into it and realizing that a lot of this stuff, it's going out to your business page, maybe it's going to your LinkedIn, maybe it's going to your Twitter. A lot of times people don't see the posts that you put on those pages all the time, every time, right? So when you post something, it might be a great article, and then you repost it a month later or 5, 6 weeks later. A different audience is going to see that post. There's going to be people that see that post this next time around that didn't see it originally. So, and then the people that see it again on their feed or whatnot, they might just think that somebody else commented or linked, and they'll keep scrolling. But either way, what is really cool about MeetEdgar is that it's going to keep you on a consistent posting schedule no matter what, which is completely different than a lot of other posting tools where you actually have to set up the posts to go out the exact time and day that they need to go out. And so you can still get behind on that, and you can still forget to put a post in and not stay consistent. Whereas again, with MeetEdgar, you're setting up a library of content. You can create different categories, and then you put a posting schedule in place for what you want, when you want the posts to go out. And then MeetEdgar just takes articles and posts that you put in that library, and it posts it for that day. So again, it's a real set it and forget it. It might take you about an hour to 2 hours in the beginning to kind of publish or put content into your library. But then once you've done that, you can literally sit back and realize that it's going to be there consistently, at least going for the next month or so. It will give you a warning if it's reusing your posts too many times and you do need to put more posts in there. And I would recommend that you don't just completely set it and forget it. You need to be putting recent and relevant content in there. So, you can go in and at least do it once a month or twice a month if you can. And put in relevant content to that library. But honestly, this is going to save hours and hours. Plus, it just doesn't make you need to be, right there every single day posting on social media. For me, y'all probably see tons of stuff going out on social media from me, but you'd laugh at me if you actually knew how much time I spend on social media. I don't spend a ton of time on it. I set my systems up and I kind of let it go out and do its thing. I do like to focus my time and efforts on responding to messages, responding to comments, and actually going out there and responding on other people's posts. That's where I like to focus my time versus actually publishing posts myself. And so I'm going to show you there's all sorts of other automations and things like that that MeetEdgar allows you to do that I think is worth noting. For instance, you can set up what's called an RSS feed for if you are like a blogger, or maybe you have a podcast, or maybe you have a YouTube channel. You can actually set up an RSS feed to import all of that stuff automatically. So when you create something new, you don't actually have to go out and grab it and put it into MeetEdgar. It's going to be doing it automatically, and it's going to give you the option whenever you log into MeetEdgar to put it into that library quickly and easily. And so I'll show you that as well. So anyways, as you can see here, this is MeetEdgar right here. This is the main dashboard you log into. This is my queue. So all of the posts that are scheduled to go out pretty soon, you can kind of see what's upcoming. I've got 149 content items in my library, and you can see it tells you a little bit of which platform it's going to go to. Like this one's going out to LinkedIn, this one's going out to Facebook, my business page, and so you can see Twitter here, which ones they're going to, which it's helpful just to kind of see what's coming out today. You've got another tab up here for your schedule. And this is where you're going to go in here and you can see, this is my posting schedule when things go out. And I'll go more into detail about all of these different things and how to set it up. But just so you can kind of get a general overview of everything at first, you got that there. Here's your import section, where if you've got like a bulk amount of content that you want to upload, whether it's through CSV, like a spreadsheet, or if you want to connect that RSS feed, which I talked about, you can do that here. I'll show you. I've got a few different RSS feeds set up. I've got my YouTube channel, I've got my podcast, I've got my blog, my other YouTube channel, my other vlog, my other YouTube channel, and then my other podcast down here. So basically what happens is whenever I publish content to any of those different platforms, MeetEdgar is automatically going to give me the option to import that into my library. You can set it up to automatically import into your library, and then there's no additional work needed other than publishing that content to those different platforms. But for me, you'll see here that I've got in here whenever I've got pending content. Whenever I publish those, it gives me the ability to either approve or reject it if I want to put it into my library or not. So for instance, like here's a blog post that I made. It's saying, do I want to approve or reject it or edit it? And if I go in, I can definitely still edit. I can change around the description of what it's going to post. I can actually change around the image if I wanted to. I could remove that image. And then I can also change which different places that it goes to, as far as what different social media platforms it's going to get posted to. And then there's a little preview here. I can see, okay, this is exactly what it's going to look like. So for instance, this is Facebook. So you can see here that the text right now is set up just on LinkedIn and Twitter. But if I wanted to add that down here, now I do the preview. Now you see there, it added text into there. So you can go there, you can do small little edits like that if you need to. And you'll notice too, there is the option to do Instagram, and I'll talk about how that works as far as Instagram. I don't personally use MeetEdgar for Instagram. I did a video a little while back about the Facebook Creator Studio, which is what I prefer to use for Instagram, just because with MeetEdgar, it's kind of a workaround system where there's really no third-party tool that can automatically post to Instagram anymore. And so what ends up doing is MeetEdgar, you can put the schedule that you want it to post out to, but then you've got to download a separate app on your phone. And then whenever it's time to post that content, MeetEdgar sends you a little notification, says, hey, it's ready to post, you need to post this content, copy paste it to your Instagram. So you still have to like go in there each time to do it. So it's not my preferred method. I prefer to do Facebook Creator Studio for my Instagram, because then it will automatically post it and it's all done. That's kind of the way that I prefer to do it. But let me show you something, because I know probably some of you guys watching this, you're probably thinking, well, Kyle, I don't create a ton of content myself. I don't have a podcast. I don't have a YouTube channel. I don't have a blog. What would I use this for? And so if you're, a real estate agent and you don't have all of that stuff set up, first of all, I'd say make 2020 the year that you consider doing that. It has completely changed my business. I highly recommend you looking more into that. But let's just say, for instance, you're not doing that. You don't plan to do that at this point in time. One of the ways that you can curate content and actually, start publishing content on a consistent basis is like, let's say, for instance, my market is San Antonio, Texas. What I can do is I can literally just go onto Google and say San Antonio real estate, and then sort it by the news category, and then find an article. Like, here's one: San Antonio ranks high among military home buyers. Let's say this is a piece of content that I want to add onto my library in MeetEdgar. Well, MeetEdgar's got a great Google Chrome browser extension that you can download. It's super easy. If you are already using Google Chrome, you just go up to the little three dots. You go to More Tools, you go to Extensions, and then down here in the bottom, top left, and then bottom left, open Chrome Web Store. You can come over here and just type in Edgar. And of course, you have to have a subscription to Edgar to be able to use it. And then you would download Edgar. It'll put it up in your toolbar up here, just like it is on mine. And then with this particular article, I can just click this link right here. And there we go. So now it's saying I can add this piece of content to my library. I would choose which category I want this article to be put into. I can choose which accounts that I want it to go to, which social media accounts that I want it to go to. And then I can put in whatever text that I want it to say, right? So if I want, I can use their suggested image, the one that came with that post. I could create my own and add in my own image. I could even add in a video if I wanted to, with a little analysis or something about this article, if I wanted to, read through it and give kind of my feedback on it. And so once you do that, you then would say save it to your library. You could also send it, immediately, or you could schedule your send and save it. So for instance, I would just save it to my library, and then the next time that I've got a schedule for a general post to go out, whether it's on my Facebook page or anything like that, MeetEdgar is going to see this is now a new post in that category. It's going to pull from it and grab the new one and publish that on whatever day it is that I specified. And again, if I didn't have this in there, it would just go back to whichever one had been used the longest, the furthest away, and it's going to post that one up for me. So super, super helpful, again, because you don't have to worry about going in there and making a post every single day. You just literally create a library. And at this point, my library is just getting bigger and bigger. I've got 183 content items. And then my pending content, I need to go in there and actually start approving some of that pending content. I've been doing a lot of content creation over the holidays, over Christmas. So I've got a lot of stuff that I got to go in there and approve. And at that point, I'll have 300 pieces of content. And so there'll never be a time where I won't be able to stay consistent with my posting schedule. And it's important that you have a posting schedule, something that comes out the same time, the same day, every single week. So that way people can start to expect when things are going to get published by you. And so now keep in mind that these are the different accounts that you can publish to: Facebook business page, Facebook groups, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter. Currently, there is no ability to post to your personal profile on Facebook. So if you were to start doing this, you would need to have a Facebook business page or a Facebook group. And then what you could do is, once the content has been published to your page or your group, you could share that to your personal profile page. You just cannot publish straight away to your personal profile page. So definitely take that as a note. But that doesn't affect me very much. I don't like to post a whole lot of my business stuff on my personal profile anyways. So I keep my personal profile mainly to family stuff, friend stuff, all that type of content. Whereas my business page is where I put all my real estate related training, my real estate related information to my buyers and sellers, all of that good stuff. So Anyways, so you'll see that. So what you're going to end up doing is you'll again create categories. You can create as up to I think 25 different categories if I'm not mistaken on the regular MeetEdgar account, and you'll just create like different buckets for where you're going to want to put your different content in. So for instance, I've got my agent attractors blog post buckets. I've got my Kyle Handy blog posts buckets, because I don't like those to get kind of muddied, right? Like I want, there are different audiences that typically focus on those different things. So like you may have buyers and sellers that you want to send things out to, right? And you might even have a different bucket for buyers and for sellers, because you'll want to create different postings. So maybe every Friday you post stuff that's focused on buyers, and every Thursday you post stuff that's focused on sellers. Maybe every Wednesday you put something that's out there towards renters, right? Or whatever you want to do as far as making your different content categories. And then that way, when you find an article or you find something that's relevant to that audience, you add it to that bucket. And then you'll know that every week, something is going to go out that's relevant to those different audiences, which I think is so, so helpful. So anyways, I've got different buckets of categories for my stuff. And then you'll see here in my schedule, like let's see, today's Monday. So at 1 o'clock, something is going to be published from my Kyle Handy YouTube channel. And most likely it may be this newest video that I'm creating, the one you're actually watching right now. If it's not, because maybe I don't go in and approve this video before that publish comes up at 1 o'clock, it's going to take something else that came from my YouTube channel that I've done in the past. It's in the library already under that category, and it's going to post it at 1 o'clock without fail, which is awesome. And then at 6 o'clock, there's going to be something that comes out from my agent attractors blog post. So maybe a blog post that I'd created, a couple weeks back, a couple months back, or recent could be going out at 6 o'clock today. I can actually go in again to my queue and I can see exactly what's supposed to be posted. So for instance, at 1 o'clock, here is the one that's going to come out from my Kyle Handy channel, how real estate agents compete and win against iBuyers. And then at 6 o'clock, if I come down, you can see here that it's real estate agent grows his business 700 agents in under 2 years. And that's going to be going out to LinkedIn, to my Facebook group, the Agent Mastermind Private. It's going to be going out to another Facebook group, Team Disruptor. So you can see kind of how that works. You create those buckets, you create your posting schedule, and then it goes out. You add stuff to your library. Like I said, you can do it manually. You can do it one by one. Like if you're reading through articles and you just want to add it as you go, you can do that. Or you can just come up here and say, add new content. And then literally, if you wanted to, you choose category, you can put whatever the post is, you can put pictures. You're probably thinking, well, what if something's time sensitive? Like what if I want to add in there something about, the housing market in December, and, I don't want that posted in April. Well, MeetEdgar's already thought about that. If you go down here to the advanced settings and you use the use once filter, it's only going to post it one time. It will not repost it again down the road when something is needed from that category. Or you can expire content, meaning that like if it's something about the December, I might be able to post it December 1st, December 30th. And so I could just come down here and expire it on December 30th. That way, when it comes, January, it's not going to actually post that. So you can kind of see how that works. So anyways, real quick, I just wanted to make sure and see we got good stuff. Okay, we got people on Facebook, got people on YouTube. All right. Very cool. Well, if you got any questions, feel free to ask questions at this point in time. We're getting pretty close to, I think, just about everything on MeetEdgar. Let me see. I'm going to go into the accounts setup. I talked about that. Super easy to connect your accounts. Again, you just put in your username and all that good stuff. It'll automatically connect it. I can go into my history. There's a good amount of tracking that MeetEdgar does as well. So for instance, I can come in here and see like which posts get the most clicks. So here we go. These different posts got the most clicks, which is awesome, right? So you can kind of see like what content is working, what content is not working for you, all sorts of great tracking, which I actually want to talk about. There is the ability within MeetEdgar because whenever your content is posted, there's a link in there. It's not going to put the full like super long link. Like for instance, if this is the link, it's not going to post that as the link. It's going to shorten it, which MeetEdgar will use their own shortener. It's just ed.gr. A lot of you have probably seen link shorteners, bit.ly, goo.gl, that kind of thing. I actually use Rebrandly to shorten my links, so that way I can have the same kind of branding for all of my links, and it just says kylehandy.link. You might have already seen that / whatever, right? So it might say kylehandy.link / military home buyers, right? Something like that. But you don't have to really get into that if you don't want to. You can just use the standard Edgar shorteners. That's fine. But this is really just for being able to get statistics on who clicks those links. So, or not who, but how many people. You can't exactly see who. But anyways, I use that link shortener to be able to do that. And then UTM Parameters, I think, is pretty cool too. If any of you guys already have a blog or a website, and maybe you are creating content, and you want to see, the effectiveness, how much traffic is going to your website because of MeetEdgar, UTM Parameters allow you to do that. So for instance, what it's going to do, it's going to automatically add these UTM parameters that say like MeetEdgar, MeetEdgar.com, social for the medium. So for instance, if I go into like my analytics on Google, I'll show you kind of what it looks like on the back end here. You will see that, let me quickly go to my Kyle Handy page. So this is my actual Kyle Handy blog that I've got. And if I go to acquisition, and if I go to like campaigns, give it a sec. Taking a while, I guess, because I'm streaming right now. My internet's not going as quick. There we go. So here we go. So I can see that literally since December 30th through January 5th, so this week, 60 users came to my website because of MeetEdgar. So that means that they've clicked that link somewhere on MeetEdgar because it's coming from the MeetEdgar campaign. I'll go back over here. So you can see here, campaign medium, campaign source. So it's coming from the campaign MeetEdgar, right? And then the source and medium, MeetEdgar.com, you could see in here, if I go to an overview, I think that, let's see, all traffic, yeah, source. There we go. So MeetEdgar social. So that's the source and medium. And what would happen if you didn't have a UTM parameter on there is that it would just be categorized as direct none, which a lot of traffic eventually starts piling up in that direct none category. That just means basically Google Analytics didn't know, it wasn't told how that person got there. And so like if somebody was to click, let's just pretend this was my website and they came to this URL, there's nothing there that tells Google where that person came from. But when MeetEdgar adds that UTM parameters, that link ends up looking like this. So, because you can do it manually, but the nice thing about MeetEdgar is it does it automatically. So for instance, like let's say that this is the link to my blog. What MeetEdgar is doing is it's changing it. It's saying, I don't know what exactly it said, but it said something like MeetEdgar social Edgar, I don't know, like that, right? And so now what it's doing is it's changing that regular link to a link that looks like this. It has the regular link, but then it says UTM source, medium, campaign, and it's making that, and then it's shortening it with that link shortener that you specify. So it's not going to be, this, super long link. It's going to be something like that, right? But it'll say Edgar or your custom one if you're using Rebrandly. And then that way, whenever you do go look at your analytics, it's not just going to go into the direct none category. You can actually tell where your traffic is coming from. So I think that's a really awesome kind of advanced thing that MeetEdgar will do for you. which is awesome. So, and then there's reporting features, which are awesome. You can use that. I think that's it. There's APIs. So if there's other, third-party tools that you want to integrate with, I know that MeetEdgar can integrate with a lot of different things as well. I don't have any custom integrations like that set up other than just basically my RSS feed. So, all right, well, I've went through the library, the queue, the schedule, the import, categories, accounts, history, and then even the settings here. So one of the other things that I want to say about MeetEdgar that I think is amazing is the actual training that they provide. I want to show you something. So they give a ton of helpful advice when it comes to social media training. And let's do a little quick search, MeetEdgar, because they put you on kind of their email list. And you'll see here, roller coaster decade. You'll get like posts like this where it just talks about, anything to do with social media, and it's awesome stuff. Like I can't even tell you the Megan, there you go, is her name, that is the owner of MeetEdgar, and she's the one that posts all of these different emails. But they're super helpful as far as sharing information about social media. They also have really cool things where like once a month they'll do a batch content or a content batching party. Let me see here where I'll find it. Content batching party. Let's see. Yeah, here you go. Content batching party for December. All right. So you basically sign up and you get to join a private group at that point in time. It's for like an hour or something like that, and everybody just sits there and batches content from different industries. People share kind of what they're doing, and you're not just out there doing it by yourself. So I do think that content batching is super helpful. That's where literally you dedicate maybe an hour or 2 hours, go out there, find all the content, or cure or get all the content that you've curated or created, and put it together, put it into MeetEdgar. So boom, you're done. Now literally for the whole month, you can kind of sit back and have that stuff go out. So content batching is amazing. And whether you're using MeetEdgar or any kind of social media automation, batching your content is extremely helpful. It saves a ton of time when you can just focus on one thing versus kind of doing it here and there and posting it, as you go throughout the month. That takes up so much time. So anyways, I just wanted to share that with you guys. The reason this started was I have a fellow agent that was curious about MeetEdgar and had been asking some questions. So I figured that would be helpful. Now, if you are looking to get MeetEdgar, if you're interested in signing up, you actually can use, you can see down here, this Octuples link. I'll put it in the description below. If you use my Octuples link, you actually get $10 off of your account, which I believe right now the account is $49 per month. Let's see, $49 per month, but they've got a special where the first 4 months are $29. So for instance here, I guess I can't look at the pricing when I'm logged in. So let me log out real quick. So pricing at this time is $49 per month is their standard pricing. But they've got a deal right now where, for the first 4 months, you can save $20. You use this code right here, and it's $29 for the first 4 months, and then it goes to $49 per month. They do have a 30-day money-back guarantee. This is where you get 25 social media accounts, basically everything that I've shown. This is the account that I've got. And then what's really nice is then once it goes to $49 a month, if you use that link that I've got in the description, yours just goes to $39 per month. So you'll still get $10 off forever, which is really cool. And then if you don't need quite as many accounts, you can actually choose this $19 a month plan, which is pretty awesome. They just came out with this, and it basically does all of the same things. You can let it manage your pages, your groups, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, or you can only do 3 of them though, any combo. But like I say, you may not want to use it for Instagram, so you can cut that out. Maybe you do, but if you don't, you can cut that one out. And maybe you don't use Twitter very much. So now you can connect it to a business page, a group that you are consistently posting in, and your LinkedIn, let's just say, right? So you'd be able to choose those 3 if you wanted. You can schedule up to 10 posts per week, 4 custom categories. So that's down from 25 on the regular one. right? But then everything else is pretty much kind of the same. That's $19 per month. And so that's pretty cool. But like I say, if you need, the full blown one where it gives you your unlimited library, unlimited posting, 25 social media accounts, which is more accounts than you'll ever be able to need. I don't know any other person that's got 25 social media accounts. That's pretty crazy. But unlimited categories, all that good stuff. So yeah, you can go with the regular one here. So I definitely recommend it, guys. Like I say, if you've got any questions, put them in the comments. I'm happy to respond to them. But it has saved me a ton of time for my social media. That's benefit number one. Benefit number two is that it's kept me consistent. I know that a lot of people, they're looking for that kind of magic bullet that keeps them consistent and kind of fixes that social media thing where it's, not this sporadic thing or it's not this thing taking a ton of time. That's what MeetEdgar has done for me. I highly recommend it. And one of the last things that I'll kind of say about MeetEdgar is just, again, it's that training, the emails that I get every single week. And they've got a great blog post, being able to, read more about social media and what works, what doesn't work. That has been an extreme help to me. So I like what MeetEdgar's doing, and I know that they're always improving and adding new features all the time too. So this is something that you guys like. Definitely consider signing up. If you got more questions, let me know that. But I hope everybody has a great week ahead of them, a great new year ahead of them. One of the other things too that you're going to be seeing here is that I just created a My Resources page, which has all of the different tools that I use for my real estate business. Because I do get a lot of people asking like, hey, what camera do you use, for your streaming? What do you do? Well, I created this new page. It's on my blog. Just go to kylehandy.com/my-resources. Or if you go to my page and you go into resources and you click on My Resources right here, it's going to take you here. And you'll see these are all of the different programs and tools that I use for my business. Here's all of the actual equipment that I use to kind of shoot and film and edit and all that kind of stuff. My videos, and then of course my Tesla. If you are thinking about ordering a Tesla, you can go down here and use my link down there for that, and you get 1,000 free supercharging miles. So do I, which is pretty cool too. So, but anyways, I just created this the other day. I'm going to be going through it, and on any of the ones that I don't have a video created, kind of showing how it works, I'm going to actually create that video so you can see, because I won't promote anything unless I actually use it. Like I use MeetEdgar every single day. I've talked about it. I've used, send out cards every single day. So I, create a video. I'm not just putting things out there to sell anybody on anything. I do earn a commission on this stuff if you sign up for it, but that's only because I use it first and foremost, and I definitely do recommend it. So I'm going to create a video kind of showing you how all of these things work. But in the meantime, if you want to go check it out yourself, you can head over to my page and you can see all of the different systems and tools that I use here and quickly and easily click on them. So I hope that's helpful for you guys. I hope 2020 is going to be a great year for you. If you need anything, hit me up in the messages, put it in the comments. And if you made it this far, again, I always like to see who watched the whole thing all the way. Put 1% crew and let me know. Give this video a like, and if you aren't already subscribed to me on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next week. Have a great one. Bye-bye.